Welcome back, aliens. My name is Navin Reddy. I was about to make a video on Git, and then I realized what software I'll be using for the example of GitHub or Git. Now, I use a Linux machine, I use a Mac machine, and luckily those are Unix prompt, so you can actually write GitHub commands directly, right? What about Windows? If you're using a Windows machine, how do we use a Linux-based command? Now, again, I'm not only talking about Git here. Let's say if you want to work with Linux commands on Windows, how do we do that? Now, as a developer, we do need to use those commands, right? And what we do is we install a virtual machine on Windows, and then on that virtual machine, we install Ubuntu OS or maybe some other Linux distro. Now, it takes lots of time, right? And especially you need a special hardware to run those softwares. Now, luckily in Windows 10, so provided you're using Windows 10, so as you can see, I'm using Windows 10 here. In Windows 10, we got this amazing feature where you can run Linux commands on Windows. Now, you might be wondering, is it really possible? And the answer is yes. I was knowing about this from a long time, but then I have never, tried it out. And I tried it today, and I thought, okay, let's make a video on that so that it will be helpful for everyone. So let's see how to install a Linux, or what you say, a Linux shell or a bash shell on Windows. Now, what if I say it is an integral part of your Windows 10? If you don't trust me, let's try that. So what if I go to settings, and if you go to settings, there's an option of update and security. Again, before continuing, I want to update you some more stuff. If you want to work with Linux commands on Windows, we do have some softwares which you can use. We have something called as Syswin. I don't know how to pronounce that. And we have one more we can use especially for Git. We can use Git Bash. But why to use all those things when you can use entire Ubuntu here? So once you go to system settings, and then you have to go to update and security. That's the thing you have clicked. Yeah. So the update and security, and then go to for developers. And here you have to make sure that you get into developer mode, because that's important, right? If you want to run Linux commands, you have to get into developer mode so that you can install all the softwares required for developers. It may take some time, so it is done for me. So close this. Once you have done with this, now you have to enable your Linux subsystem. So it is basically called as Windows subsystem for Linux. So what we'll do is we'll go to control panel, because that's the main software we have in Windows. In this, if you can go to programs and features, and you can see I have some software installed here. Just ignore that. Let's go to Windows features, turn on and off. If you go here, there will be lots of Windows features you can enable and disable. Again, we normally don't go in this system in this option, right? Why to play with this? But if you can scroll down, if you can see there, it says Windows subsystem for Linux, and that is something which is amazing. The only drawback here is it is in beta version. You see that it is in beta version. It is still in development stage, and the moment Microsoft feels that this is perfect, they will release the actual version. But then till that point, we can try it out, right? There's no harm in trying it out. So it is Windows subsystem for Linux. Click on OK. Now you might be thinking you'll be getting Ubuntu GUI here. No, that's not the case. What you will get is Ubuntu, but in a terminal mode. So you can only access those commands. You will not get a KDE or a GNOME. There's no GUI feature, only command line feature. Now it may take some time to search for the required files and install. So I will pause a video for time being. It actually took lots of time to do that, and finally it says Windows completed the required changes and you need to reboot your system to make it work. So I will not restart the machine. I will simply say don't restart. Okay, it's the best option to restart your machine to make sure that everything is working. But let's try. Now what you will do is just search for bash, and you can see it says bash on Ubuntu on Windows. Now you might not get this option, or you might get this option. Now I get this. Okay, let me just close this. Let me just try this once again. Since I have installed this before, that's why I'm getting this option. But if you install this for the first time, it will give you a prompt where it will ask you to install Ubuntu, or it will say enter yes or enter Y to install Ubuntu. It will take some time, so it will give you a prompt. You simply have to say Y. The only problem here is I have installed this before, and that's why I'm not getting any option. but you will get the option once you try it. You simply have to say Y to install the Ubuntu and it will be done. It will ask you for the username and password. Just enter username and enter the password and you're done. You will get your Ubuntu prompt and have done that, all those things. Now, why is my username? It was asking me about the username. I just said yes. I said Y and it has given me the username as Y. Okay, so now what I will do is let's try out some commands here. So let's try it with ls, and you can see it works. We got ls. Now you might not get the same answer. What happens is when you use this thing for the first time, it will open what you say, a system32 folder for you, and you cannot edit any file. So make sure that you say cd/ to get to the home page, or maybe cd/ here. It will take you the home path, because if I say pwd now, you can say this is my home path here, and pwd is present working directory. You can also fire different commands like touch. If you want to get a file, let's say touch one, so it will get a file for you called as one, and you can insert some data there. You can say cat1, you can insert some data, whatever you want, and you can end it using Control-C. And now if I say cat1, it will give you the data, right? So you can run all your commands. Did I say all? Okay, I'm not sure if all the commands work here, because this is still in beta phase. Some commands might not work, so try it out, give it a chance, and let's see how happy you are working on Ubuntu on Windows. Of course, we cannot compare the commands on actual Ubuntu, but then with this, you can try this. You can try it out, right? So yeah, that's how you install Bash on Windows. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, do click on the like button and do subscribe for further videos.